Hello everyone, it is Bryan of Asante Capital Management, and today I'm in the apartment, the unit of longtime client Barbara. And today we wanted to talk about life leases. So Barbara, we're here in your beautiful unit here.
I think so.
How long have you been here for?
We moved in July of 2016, so 2015, got that wrong. 2015, so we've been here almost 6 years, coming up on 7.
So you lived just around the corner before, I know, just in,
Yes.
in a detached house.
Yes.
And what made you want to go from a detached home, which is the desirable thing to do, into a unit in a building?
Well, part of it, there's a lot of factors. We were in this neighborhood for a very, very long time, and our house appreciated in value, which is great in the Toronto area. But ultimately what it came down to was my husband and I were both seniors now, the true definition of seniors. We were getting older, the house was becoming harder to look after, snow shoveling, cutting the grass. But ultimately, I remember saying one day to him, realize we're going to have to renovate the bathroom again. And we're going to start dropping more money into this property. And we've already spent a lot of money. Do you think it's time we look at an apartment?
Okay.
We wanted one floor. We wanted to be able to eventually, when we both retire, to go off and do things like travel and not worry about the house. So it wasn't a quick decision. It took us 2 or 3 years to come around to it.
And so that's the decision to get to a unit within a building.
Yes.
And then there's the kind of the two obvious choices, which are, okay, we're going to buy a condo.
Yes.
Or we're going to rent.
Right.
And as I said in my introduction, the third way, is the life lease. So how did that become the preferred way to live?
Well, actually, when we first started looking, we actually looked at rentals.
Okay.
We went around the city and we looked at different rentals. We thought, could we find one of those fourplex houses? Mm-hmm. We looked at some nice apartments, different things. I knew where I wanted to be in the city still. I wasn't interested in going out further. And we were seriously looking. And by accident one day, I think you'll probably ask me this, but I was part of the development of this project.
Yes.
And I was asked in to do an interview for the local paper. And while I was here, I was sitting with my neighbor speaking to him. And I said, how much did you pay for this? And he goes, I said, oh, and may I ask, what do you pay on a monthly basis? And I said, oh, interesting. And I came home and I said, Barry, guess what? Oh, I forgot one piece. When I was leaving, I ran into the chairperson of the building, and she said to me, Barb, remember that unit you really liked when the building was going up?
No way.
And I said, yeah. She said, when's coming up? I said, are you serious? Because I knew exactly what she was talking about. And I went home and I said, Barry, how would you like to buy up at 1387? He said, I'm in. And then about 6 months later, we bought.
So that's a great segue on, you don't just live here, many, many moons ago, you were part of the development of this project. So bring me up to speed on that.
Yes. I'm very proud of this building. In 1995, a group of seniors in my neighborhood in Leaside got together and decided we needed more housing for seniors. Most seniors in this neighborhood would leave their house and either move out to the suburbs or move to a care home. But a lot of seniors are independent and don't need that kind of care. So we created this building. We hired the architect. We found the lot. And we saw the construction, got the loans. So I personally sold every unit from plans, which I think was kind of interesting. And we sold them all, and we had everyone move in. I didn't have a lot to do with it for 15, 20 years. Mm-hmm. And then when I came for that story, I went, wait a sec. Yes, of course. This building, I'd totally forgotten about. I drive by it hundreds of times, and we just said, yes, we're in. And I love it here. I was on the board for a while. My husband's on the board now, and I know a lot of the history of this building and what was involved.
So 1995. So this isn't 2 years old. I mean, this has been here for decades.
Well, the actual building, final construction was 1999.
Okay.
September. Yeah, so we're just over 20 years old.
And so the traditional kind of buy a condo, I mean, what do you see as the big trade-offs, advantages, disadvantages between kind of owning that condo in the sky and having a life lease on the third floor here?
Well, life lease is kind of a tricky concept for most people to understand. basically you're not buying, when you buy a condo, you buy a deed that gives you apartment 27 on the 5th floor at the corner of Eglinton and Bayview. When you buy a life lease, you don't actually get a deed. What you buy is the right to live in that space. This building is run by a nonprofit organization made up of members and board people. And when Barry and I purchased, we paid X to the previous owner's family. And then we got the right to stay here. And we can stay here and live here as long as we can and as long as we're able. When we're ready to move, for whatever reason, that right is resold to the next
Somebody
person.
else.
And it's sold at market value. So that's one thing a lot of people don't understand, is that our life lease, anyways, there can be some differences, but our life lease is resold at market value. And so whatever the market says it's worth, that's what it will sell for. Some life leases, they sort of run out, and at the end you end up with nothing. Ours, we continue, and we bought for X, and now it's doubled. No, not doubled, I wouldn't say that. Gone up at least half, 50%. You're the numbers guy, thank goodness. So we're very happy. What happens is, because we don't have that deed, lawyers and bankers are you nuts? We don't want to we can't put a mortgage on this thing. And so the people who buy in here must be all cash.
Got it.
And so most of us who are seniors, if we're lucky, have sold our house in Toronto and get to buy in here. The other thing that life lease does as an advantage, in my view, is we can say only people over the age of 60 can live in this building. This building is so quiet, like 9 o'clock, you could shoot cannons through the halls, right? It's so quiet, it's so, apart from the street noise, but it's really great for that. Which means you don't have young children running up and down the stairs, you don't have the screaming and yelling, there's less wear and tear on the building, because as older people, I'm the youngest, believe it or not, and the oldest is 94 years old. And we're very quiet, we're very respectful, and we really like that. Also, I personally cannot rent this to anyone.
So it's all owners in here?
All owners.
Or life leasers?
I think, technical term I think is lessee, I'm not
Okay.
positive. And I can't turn around and make this an Airbnb. I can't let my 3 grandnephews live here when they're out of college. Right? And so we've got a lot of control of who comes into the building. And that, to me, is a great benefit. The downside is, because of that, we are probably valued less than a condo.
So if this were a condo, it'd be worth X plus?
Yes, I'm guessing $100,000 more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know, but we've done some surveys, and it could be 10 to 15% more than...
Just because you have more potential buyers?
Yes, yes, more buyers, more opportunities. You could have an investor. Like, if you can't buy this as an investment, you have to live here.
And do you make an application to the board to live here? Do you need to be approved?
Yes.
Kind of who you are, not just
Yes.
how old you are?
Well, we base it on age.
Okay.
It on age. We haven't ever turned someone down because we didn't think they were a nice person or anything. It's always been, are they over 60? And do they want to move in here? And so far that's worked very, very well. We've never had to ask anyone to leave.
But there are, like a normal condo, there are monthly fees
Yes.
that go into it.
Yes.
Yours is a smaller unit, I think 28 units here, 24, 28 units. So there's more of a community feel, people getting done.
Well, yes and no. We are 18 units.
Oh, sorry, pardon me.
18 units. Ours is the middle range. We've got smaller and bigger ones than ours. But yes, we pay a monthly fee, which covers the elevator, the cleaning service, the roof, and just like a condo, part of it goes for those monthly operations, part of it goes to a savings account for the big things, like if the roof goes, and for us, part of it goes to taxes. Part of it
Okay.
goes to taxes. Most condos have a fee and then plus taxes.
Got
So
it.
ours, even though, it's probably a touch more expensive because there are only 18 of us, but I think it's worth it. I think it's
But there's pros to having that smaller
yes.
community
Oh,
as well.
yeah, you mentioned smaller. Yes, we all know each other's names.
Yeah.
And we see each other all the time. Before COVID, we would have, it sounds sort of silly, but Wednesday afternoon tea, and then once a month we would have the Friday barbecue. And when the two who recently got married, got married, we had a breakfast
Oh, great.
for that wedding, and so it's nice. But we're respectful. We're not in. I know a lot of seniors move to places that, every day they meet at happy hour, and then they go to someone's house for dinner,
Okay.
and then and if you don't show up, everybody talks about you. We live independent lives, and then we get together when we'd like to, and I like that. I have my space, but I'm also in a community.
So people, if they're interested, should get a sense of what the culture is before they,
That would be perfect.
if you could.
Well, the perfect world is usually most people who've bought in here know somebody already
Oh, okay.
but it doesn't mean we haven't taken in strangers from anywhere. But like any community, you're always going to find somebody that doesn't quite fit but I think we're very lucky here. We've got some really smart people, we've got doctors and writers and sociologists and people who taught at U of T, and it's a really interesting group.
Neat.
I really get a kick out of some of my neighbors. I really do. And I was just telling Barry I can hardly wait till we can lift the restrictions, because I know 2 people I'm having in for coffee as soon as all of this is over. That would be nice. It would be nice.
And you and Barry have, over the years, upgraded
Yes.
and renovated this unit. Any hesitation into putting in tens of thousands of dollars
Absolutely.
into something you don't own technically?
We do own it, though. We do. When we resell, our unit should be of more value than the one that wasn't renovated when we sell. And we have dropped, when we bought, this was an original condition from 1999 or whatever it was. We put new floors, we've done painting, we've done this. We've dropped some money into it. But almost anything you buy, house, condo, you would put money into it. Rental, maybe not. Having said that, I have friends who have rentals and they put money in because they know what they were going to be there for a long time,
Okay.
right? And my plan is 20, 25 years. And so in my head, it's worth it to me to
Get it done early, enjoy it.
enjoy it. Yes. Yeah.
Well, Barb, thank you so much for bringing us into your world of living
I
in
love it here.
in a life lease.
Does it show?
Uh,
I love it here.
I get the sense that it's going to become more and more popular over time as a means.
I hope so. I hope so, because for me it's perfect. I think the idea of living in a building with 240 other people who are all arguing over what color we should paint the front door. Here we've got to deal with 18 people trying to figure out what color to paint the front door. And just the wear and tear and the noise, and it's, I don't know. I like it here.
And that you're all of a certain age as well. The competing interests of different groups as
Yes.
well is less than it may be in a building of 250
Yes.
different people.
Well, there's still 30 years
Yes,
difference
no doubt.
between. Our neighbor across the way was 104 when he passed away, so we had right up to that. But and yeah, it's a real nice mix, I think.
Fantastic. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for your time.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, please give me a call. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.